9? Are we already at episode 9? Blimey. Are we? God. Has it been that long? Feels that long. Of the season, of the double season. That's it. Oh, that's my comment. Do you skip to the end of films? Because I'm just about to watch the end of a series on Netflix, and I always go right to the very end of the last one to check out it works okay.
No.
I do. Why?
That is just... No, you can't do that.
I read the last page in the book first, and I always go to the end of films first. Yep. So
Oh,
soon,
wow.
I know. What does that say about my personality?
Questionable.
All right, don't
Very
start.
rigid.
This is Pitch to Pod with WSL legends Nikita. It only ever ends well, Paris. And Jordan, the Hollywood ending, Nobbs. That sounds wrong now. Every week we bring you topics straight from the pitch of this podcast as we discuss the biggest talking points from the world of football, the WSL and beyond. This week, best of the best. What a setup, and a mystery guest as Jordan turns presenter and interviews someone she least expects. But she's already done the interview, so she knows who it was, but we don't.
Okay,
So
nice.
Anyway, enjoyable. Right, I know what you're thinking if you're just tuning in. There's something about Mary we should insert here. Clearly, Mary Earp's new book has dominated the headlines this week, and I know Jordan, Nikita, as teammates of both Mary and of Hannah, it's tough. And you don't want to do anything to fuel either side. But I will ask you, is there anything either of you want to say?
I mean, obviously everyone's open to their opinion and how they want to voice things. But I think they're two people that we both know, and you know they're two great footballers that I think we need to just remember that side. And I think that's about it.
I think it's important to also remember that you can have an agreement or a disagreement, but it doesn't have to turn into abuse. You can have an opinion on, what you think of something. That is okay, because that's social media. That's what it's for. It's a platform for you to air out your views. I think it crosses a line when it becomes abuse. So it's okay to have an opinion, but don't abuse someone just to get your point across. I mean, you can have a sensible, conversation or one-sided conversation without abusing somebody.
People first, footballers second, and so often that is forgotten. Right, let's get to this week's topics then. Nikita was on the spinning chairs with me this weekend, although as you discovered, when you're a guest in the Sky Studio, the guest chairs don't spin, but mine does.
They don't.
All the way around. We were in the studio, Jordan, I know you were watching, and Nikita, as always, came out with some very good points, one of which was that Dario Vidošić is one of the best coaches that you've worked with. So our first topic is best of the best, right? Okay. Who's been the best coach you've worked with, or what are the best sort of coaching bits? It sort of picks up from what we were saying last week about needing new blood within the game, but also better coaches as well as better players. That improves everything, right? So, Nikita, what is it about Dario V? I won't do that again.
Oh, wow. He's got a new nickname. Down with the kids. You'll love that.
Let me just reverse. Beep. I'm reversing out of that. And of course, when we're talking about Dario Vidošić, we're talking about the Brighton boss. So what makes him such a good coach?
I think what makes him so good is that first of all, he's played the game himself, so he understands what it takes to be a player within the game. And I'm not saying you have to have played the game of football to be a great coach, because my next one after him did not play the game and is still a fantastic coach. But I think with Dario and all the best coaches I've worked with, tactically, they can see in game to make decisions. They don't wait till half time. They don't wait till full time. They don't wait till the review in the game, after the 90 minutes is said and done. They do it in game, and they can, it doesn't have to be a massive change. They can just tweak a person's positioning or changing personnel from one side to the other, in order to see the threats that they can have and how to gain the momentum back in a game. And I think working with him every single day, I learn something new every day. And that is what I respect so much in a coach, because many people or many coaches think that after a certain age, you don't want to learn, or you don't have the ability to continue to learn. And I think each and every day under Dario and my next one, Nick Cushion, I learned something new, and it changed my whole game. And it didn't have to be something drastic. It was either my positioning, the timing of my movement, um, knowing how to stay on side. So it was an interesting one. Dario would always say to me, in order to, you know, get that first half a yard upon the back line, sometimes it's almost like you don't even have to see where the back line is. Maybe just check where the line is to see, because the line is always in and around the offside line. And that's something that might sound something so stupid, but it's something I've never been told. And he would just be like, he would just tell me like how to off balance a defender, and yeah, just little markers that, help me get an advantage in a certain situation. And I think every day when I was going into training, honestly, I was looking forward to the day, because I knew I was going into that training session. We were doing something totally different to the day before. And yeah, I was just constantly learning under him, and I felt the exact the same under Nick Cushion. I mean, I've already said this before, he took my game from being a raw talent into an elite talent. And I think I need the time that I came under Nick's tutelage, I needed him. I needed him to help me progress in the game. And I had, a fantastic manager in Marley, but I needed someone to coach me the game, to help me understand football. And because I think that's two different things. Playing football and understanding football are two different things. And I didn't understand the difference until I worked under Nick Cushion at Manchester City.
Are they the same sort of things, Jordan, that you look for in coaches?
I mean, one of my favourite coaches was Joe, who is now the Australian manager. And it was kind of the blend of both. It was the coaching, but the coaching was like just really simple, but like what Keats has mentioned there, sometimes the simple things are just like you don't forget them, and then it becomes like repetition. So like if anyone played a square ball in training or in a game, you'd hear Joe shout square ball, like, you know what I mean? And you'd all be like, yeah, like, because he'd prefer you to dribble and pass, or it meant that, you know, the movement behind someone, that your angle wasn't good. And it was just little things like that. But I think also as a person, especially at Arsenal, it was like, if you get the team all working in the same direction, and that's like as a squad and staff, that's so key to getting far. And obviously we won the league with Joe. So I think, yeah, it's also that side of him as well. Like such like a kind of like a dad figure that was like, he understood you as people, and he was so caring. And I think that kind of brought out the best. I think we played, to win with Joe. And I think that was like a collective that we had as a squad.
Did you see that those quotes come out about Laura Harvey at Seattle Reign saying that she asked AI about playing a back four? I don't know, because part of me thinks, well, that's quite clever in so much as ChatGPT or whatever she was using is scouring everything. So it's looking at it's statistically what are the best setups, and I don't. Maybe if you're looking for something, then that is it. It's a different way of approaching stuff.
I'm not really sure how I feel on that, if I'm being honest. It definitely will give you an holistic view, but I just think, Laura Harvey is a great coach. We've been coached under that at England for youth, and she's gone on to have an unbelievable career in America. So who are we non-coaches to tell her how to coach or how to gain coaching tips? To be honest, so if it works, I guess it works.
But it got me thinking about, I don't know whether, because you all learn in different ways, right? So there'd be some people that love gaming. So if they were sat down with maybe, I don't know, a football game in front of them, and the coach was saying, right, you're this player, and if you do this, you can see that this visually learning can be different. And it's sort of, you use what you can if you're in that that moment, right? To simplify stuff for some players, but other players will learn in totally different ways, Jordan. You must have been in a dressing room, and some players will absorb some stuff and others will do it in a totally different way and not get that moment.
Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% a visual learner. I need to see it. If you're doing a passing drill and you start saying, pass here to here to here to here to here, I go, please just demo it. Just demo it once and I'll be fine. But if you don't do that, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it's not what I can do. But yeah, you do have to still understand how your team learn. You know, you've seen some players, Keats will know the same, where like they love going in and being like, can I watch clips back and see this back? And then others, you know, they like to just do it in their own time and learn a little bit like that. So there's definitely different ways of learning. And I guess as a coach, you just have to find the best of what players need and then, you know, try and facilitate around that. You know, how am I going to get the best version of them on the pitch?
I think that's what the best coaches do. That's why they become the best, because they are able to, see what group they have in front of them and really work to the needs of the individual, but also the collective. And I think I was laughing in the passing drill bit, George, because that's definitely me. I have to go back at the queue because I have to see it a few times before I get it. Otherwise, if I'm at the front and I mess it up, I can hear everyone going, oh, she didn't listen. Oh, she didn't do this. No, I just wasn't able to take it on board when I go and do. But I remember being at England and at Everton with Farrah Williams, and I would just be like, how does she know the game so well? Like, when the coach is up the front and he's like explaining something or something we've done in training and we're reviewing it. And sometimes I used to be like, wow, how can she just see the game of football like that? Like, she would just be able to have points ready. She'd see one clip and be like, but what about this? And I'd be like, oh, how is she finding that? And I remember being like, how do you know how to review the game in that way? And she'd be like, it comes naturally. You'll get it. And at the moment I did start to get it, I'd be like, oh yeah. But it just does just take time, and it takes a lot of learning. You've got to really enjoy that part of the game to understand it. And that's why I say playing football and understanding football are very different.
I'm surprised Farah hasn't gone into like coaching like a big team, because she has got the knowledge of the game. I think we all know that, like playing and the way she speaks about the game as well. I actually thought Farah would have been someone who went more into it, because she's good
Yeah,
enough to.
100%. Like, when I was at Everton, she coached the under-15s and sorry, the under-13s, and they was like the best team I've seen at that age. Honestly, the way they played football, I was like, it's like a Pep Guardiola Manchester City, the way they possessed the ball, carried it up the field, short and short. I'd be like, how old are these players? Like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, that just showed her she was able to translate her knowledge of the game. Because it's also hard to do that. Like, everyone thinks that because you play football, you should be a good coach, but it's not, because you've got to be able to translate everything that's in your head and how you see the game to those players. And when you play the game of football, you expect everyone to understand things straight away. And that's what I've found with my coaching badges. I'm like, but how don't they know that? And I'm like, because they haven't been taught, and you've got to teach them it. Like, and that's what's so good about the best coaches. They are able to dissect the game to its basic form and then deliver it and then build the layers onto that. And I think that's why I have so much respect for top coaches, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and you've got to have patience. You've got to have patience, especially even if no matter what age group you're working with, it takes a little bit of time for the understanding to filter through. But when it finally does, honestly, it's amazing how it transforms a group.
It's also that thing sometimes you hear about great players when they go to try and be a coach, and the rest of the team and I don't know if either of you have ever had former players, coaches that you've then been involved with on that setup, where they come down and they can just do it instantly. So the rest of the team are like, I'm never going to be able to do that. You don't want to talk about those coaches, no?
Well, you've got to have two different types of coaches. That's how you know the good ones are good and the other ones are still working on it.
This is true. This is true. It's like when I used to go to disco aerobics on a Saturday morning and I could never get the move. What are you thinking about me at disco aerobics? It was brilliant.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. But I used to have to take the songs home. Right, you need to introduce this disco aerobics warm-ups at football because you see those that just don't get the move straight away. And this was me at the back. And the worst bit was, halfway through the class, he'd turn everyone round. So I was suddenly at the front with the mirrors and then trying to do everything out of tune. And it was all going a bit like a Peter Crouch robot. Anyway, good. As you were. Best bit of advice or bit of coaching that you've ever received? I know you said about Nick Cushing and what he taught you. But Jordan, anything that you've just gone, I totally will take that now?
It's always hard, isn't it? Because I feel like it's always like tactical information, really, or like about you as a player. I think one quote I've always remembered was Marley saying about like going to war with their players, and I understand that's not like world's greatest quote, but it's just always like stayed with me, and I think that happens for a reason sometimes, and I think it's like. Yeah, you do actually want to like fight for your team and everything like that. So I would maybe say that because I think when you're younger and you hear things that you're like, yeah, let's fight together to win a game. So
Mo Marley loved the quote. Mo
Doesn't
Marley
she?
loved the quote.
I
She loved the
know.
quote because she gave me my favourite quote of all time, and it was about me as a player. And it really, for me, it resonated with me because she understood that the fiery side of my game, the passionate side, it's never gonna fade in my game because it's part of who I am. So she always was like, fire in the belly and ice in the mind, Nikita, because she'd be like, keep that excitement, keep that passion, keep that rawness, but in the final decision, in the key moments, you need to have ice in your mind in order to see the pass, see the goal, make the final decision. So that's what she always used to shout to me. Fire in the belly, ice in the mind, Keats. I was like, thanks, Mel.
I need that shouted to me some Sunday mornings after a heavy session the night before. Right, coming up, it's a setup, a mystery guest, and super long chucks. This is Pitch to Pod, Nikita, Omiyed, Parris, and Jordan. To me, to you, Nobbs, as well as Keats. We also had Guinness World Record holder Megan Campbell. She of the longest
throw.
Yeah, the longest throw in the women's game at the weekend with us at Sky. And we were talking set pieces. And I know this is something, clearly, having just talked about coaching, that you would love to talk about. But I also want to know which Guinness World Record you do. I've picked a couple out for you. I think, Jordan, you could do longest time in an abdominal plank.
Oh,
Record for a woman, 4 hours, 30 minutes and 11 seconds.
4 hours.
that's crazy work.
Caroline,
Okay,
I've not got the muscle in my arms. It's in my calves.
I'll
be better with
honestly,
a
Jordan, I
squat.
thought you was going to say something about your calf. Surely you was going to say something about Jordan's calf.
You don't know me, Caroline.
Let me look up squats. Keep talking. Guinness World Squats. Hold on. Keep talking.
Oh, calf raises,
Oh.
maybe.
Squats.
Yeah.
Guinness World Squats. Guinness recognises various squat records. Okay. Female, 42 bodyweight squats in 1 minute. Oh, that's for lifting, isn't it? That's air squats. Right, which squats? Most squats in 24 hours. Female. 40,000? That can't be right. Can
Wow,
you do that
fair
many
play.
squats?
Isn't squats quads? We said
I know.
calves.
I'm doing squats.
Oh,
We're not
well,
doing.
fair
All right, I'll
play.
look at that another time. And Nikita, I thought you could do. I couldn't find anything Freddo related. Most expensive chocolate bar was a 100-year-old chocolate bar at £470. So I just thought that would agitate you. And I'm going for most grapes you can fit in your mouth at once, which is 94.
94.
94 grapes in your mouth at once. It doesn't say what size the grapes are.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, if the grapes are size as, blueberries, then yeah, you can.
I'm quite fond
I
of
mean-
those candy floss grapes, the ones that taste of candy floss. Have you tried those? Got to get those. but they're expensive. Anyway, so Megan Campbell was talking about throw-ins and set pieces. Do you love them? Do you like training them? And what more could be done to just improve a set piece for you?
Oh, well, long throws have been really effective in the Premier League this season. I mean, I remember when I used to watch the Premier League and Rory Delap used to be the only one who could really throw a long throw. You know what I mean? Like the way he used to put it in. And then I seen Megan Campbell when she came to Manchester City, and I thought, is this for real? Like, that throws like a corner. Like, honestly, I've never seen someone more hypermobile, and the angle where she gets her arms to be able to, I don't know. It's definitely not in my game. It's an amazing trait to have, and it can be very effective in football, but it's not something I have at all. But I think we do
against it. How do you defend against that? And why aren't you training up young kids right now to do that, like the proper flat...
They needed their feet.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're trying to, spend as much time with the ball at their feet, because that's the majority of the time where it's going to be played.
You bring them on for the last minute, don't you? Just chuck it, lob it in.
Well, it would be interesting to see the tactics in which Megan, under the different managers she's had, how they've used the long throw, because I'm sure if you're down in a game and you're getting throw-ins and whatever deep inside the opposition half, you're going to put it in the box and you're going to create chaos. Most teams defend it like a corner, but
the stat on how many throw-ins you have in a game is ridiculous. Like, it is
the ball's
mad.
out so much.
The ball's out so much of the time. Yeah. So, like, I think I was going to say, I think the women's game will go even more into detail with that. I mean, because I saw a stat the other day about Arsenal men. And if, obviously this was on set pieces in general, if it was based off just goals, they would have been 7th in the league. But they're top because of set piece goals. That is insane. Like, that is madness. So, yeah, I think it's definitely going to develop in the women's game a bit more, where it's like, well, I think even Crystal Palace last year, when they got promoted into the league, I think they were highest on set pieces. So, gets you the 3 points sometimes.
No, but honestly, it's like if you break the game down, it's like it can be a major asset if you have really good set pieces. And many people think that having good set pieces is having loads of set pieces and different varieties and different ideas, when actually in its most basic form, if you put the ball in an area consistently and have runners and bodies in that area, the likelihood of you scoring is probably higher than you having to remember 20,000 set pieces. I remember one time at England, we used to have, when you put, before the game, you put all of the set pieces up. Jordan, I walked over to the wall and I just thought, how am I remembering all of these set pieces? Because on one I'm at the back post, and the other I'm in the middle being the blocker, at the other one I'm at the front post. I'm like, this is incredible. Like, I'm spending half of the game trying to remember, if there's a corner right now, where am I going to be? Who am I marking? What? It's a lot. Like, just break it down, make it easier. And I feel like that's what Arsenal men have done. They've just made it easy. Saka's delivery, Gabrielle getting in that front post area in the mid zone, and just having other bodies in and around it. The likelihood of having that consistency is going to bring you goals. But yeah, there's nothing worse than seeing 1,000 set pieces and you in 6 different positions. It's rough, honestly. It's hard work.
And taking a corner and you're getting that is hard. Like, if you take, obviously I've done like set pieces before, and like sometimes I've even been like, if I forget it, I'm just putting one hand in the air, like, and you just running, like, whatever it is. It's like, God, you turn around and you think, right, cross. Especially England, it did used to be funny.
It was a lot.
There was crosses, there was hands out signals, hands in the air, and you were like, yeah, like that. You were dancing over to the corner flag, really.
Jordan, no, honestly, when you think back to our youth in England,
yeah,
when we used to do, even in the warm-up when we're doing the St. George's Cross and we're doing all the dance moves,
Yeah.
And then it's like get to the edge of the penalty box and run it as hard as you can to the halfway line and intimidate the opposition.
Was that your hacker?
We used to
Basically,
yeah, we used to shout, didn't we, at the end of it? I swear.
yeah. Oh, good times, honestly. Everyone else must have been thinking, what are these doing?
Oh, they were good times though.
Oh,
Please,
good
who
laughs.
decides what signal you're gonna do? What the signal will be? Could you put a robot in there, like when you go to the corner?
I mean,
Probably.
the signal can be anything.
Please
like,
do that.
literally anything.
Oh, I've got some information for you. There is no single Guinness World Record for calf raises.
So I could do 3 and win.
I could do 3 and win. Oh no! All right, maybe.
Can you? Can you?
No.
Are you sure?
No. Shall we do it? That'll be a Christmas thing. Let's get you both a world record certificate. Gonna make it happen. I won't do the grapes. Right, we have one more topic to go, and it's a special one this week because to finish the episode, a special guest was prepared for Jordan. She had no idea going into it who it was going to be. So our very own Jordan Nobbs, here's what happened when she met insert special guest.
Hi guys. So I've been asked to join this podcast, and there's a mystery guest. I don't know who it is. So for everyone listening, the surprise will be the same for both of us. So let's welcome her in. Hey! Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You just been
I'm
training?
good. We needed a FaceTime, but I thought this would be a bit better.
Yeah, why not? I literally didn't think it was going to be you, to be fair. Oh, that's so nice.
Really?
Yeah. I was like thinking, why haven't they just said who it is? Katie McCabe,
Surprise!
everybody.
I know,
How
it's
are
funny,
ya?
isn't it? I'm good. We've had a busy day. Just doing some media and stuff like that, training and the usual stuff.
Yeah. Nice. Both of us won at the weekend, so yeah. How was the game actually?
Game was good. You know what it's like, obviously coming back from international break. It's kind of it's a quick turnaround, and you're kind of getting everyone back in the same sort of hymn sheet again. So no, it was really good. I think in the past, when we've played against Leicester at their ground, we've not performed at our level. So I was actually really, really proud of the team for kind of going there and kind of executing what we wanted to do really well, especially in the first half, scoring some goals and yeah, finished the game as strong as possible, which was really good.
Yeah, I watched the start of your game, and I think you had about 4 or 5 corners in the first 10 minutes. Like, you just went out like, yeah, we're in this. So no, I seen the game. Yeah, you did well. I do have some questions for you. Obviously, I know we
Okay.
could talk all day and probably stuff that we can't talk about on the pod. But we have some Arsenal topics. So we've got, we're starting from the beginning. Obviously, we've been teammates for 8 years at Arsenal, I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
A long time. Do you remember the first time we met? Do you remember that? I'm glad no one's asking me this because that's a hard question.
That is a hard question. I think... No, I don't think I remember the first time we met, but because I think obviously I met like the team
Yeah.
first time training. I do remember the first coffee we went together for. We went to Watford to Starbucks, and I think you felt sorry for me because I was new, and you were like, "You want to come for coffee?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." I didn't drink coffee, but because I was only young, but yeah, I remember you being really nice and asking me to come for a coffee with you. And we went in your nice Merc. Do you remember that car?
Yeah, I do. Dead low to the floor. You like brought you back when you got in.
No,
Yeah, 'cause-
not the first time together, but I still remember. I remember you being like really sound, really nice, and asking me for coffee.
No, thanks. Yeah, because anyone listening on the podcast, obviously, like me and Katie have lived together, and I think everyone can see our friendship kind of on and off the pitch. But yeah, we had some good years together.
We did indeed.
Right, next question. Arsenal take on Chelsea this weekend. How are you feeling going into one of the biggest WSL fixtures?
Yeah, for me, I think they're always an exciting game. You know what it's like when you're playing for Arsenal and you're going into those top of the table clashes with the big teams in the league. But I think already the league has shown no matter who you're playing against, teams can pick points off the top teams as well. So as much as it's Arsenal versus Chelsea, it's very much for us another game that we want to win. And I think going into the fixture with 55,000 tickets sold for the game, so it could be a potential sellout on Saturday, is a massive indication as well of how big the fixture is, but also how important it is for us to perform in front of the fans as well, you know. So I guess we're always excited. We've got a fantastic group of players with so much quality, and we're just getting ready to hopefully that comes together and we can perform as best as possible on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we both know how like amazing the fans are at the Emirates. And probably when we first had a game at the Emirates, we maybe got 8,000. Like,
Yeah.
was it even 8,000? And now it's so incredible. The fan base now it's a big boost, isn't it? I think going out the Emirates and having that
Well, it's just
with the
another
team.
energy shift. Like I think, like obviously we've played it at the Emirates with lots of fans there before, but I think just the energy and the atmosphere it generates, what the crowd give the team, is on another level. So for us to have that on our side as well going into Saturday, it'll be really really important. And trust me, the fans play their part on match day. That's for sure.
Do you have any key memories of the fixtures when it's been like Chelsea Arsenal before? Anything of the two of us? Because I mean, the biggest one I remember is probably the 5-0 win at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think obviously it's always such a tight game, isn't it? It's like big memories of us probably are like was it us two that were when the changing room was really hot and we had our halftime team talk
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was.
just how the game goes.
No, it's crazy. I think like for me, as you said, they're always such tight games, and I think when it came to that 5-0 win at Chelsea when we beaten them, yeah, I don't think we put a foot wrong all game, and I think yeah, it was a massive shock. But again, on our day, I think we have the potential to do that to teams. Obviously, it was a few years ago now, but the quality we had in the side was insane. And I think going into these games, yes, I know we've got a lot of quality and strength, but we have to respect what they have as well. They've got a really good manager and a team with a massive winning mentality. I think they're on a winning streak of 20 odd games or something like that. So yeah, it's going to be a massive game, and as much as obviously we know what we can do, we have to respect that as well going into the fixture on Saturday.
Right, obviously we've got to talk about Ireland. Can I just say that Katie
Famous-
is the
my
legend
favourite
of
topic.
Ireland, though? Yeah, can I just like we went to me and Katie went to Dublin a while back, and everybody knew Katie. She's literally a living legend up there. Honestly, it was insane. Like I literally was thinking, I'm gonna have to be a bodyguard in a minute, and I'm only like this big, so no help whatsoever. So Ireland's 5-4 win against Belgium in the Nations League was your 100th cap. Yeah. Like what a way to do it, and like how proud of you of that milestone.
I think for me, being part of the Ireland setup now for the last 10, 11 years, it's something I've seen obviously past players achieve, and I thought, wouldn't that be cool to do that one day? But with that, I think there was 7 women's team players that have achieved that before me, which I was number 8. But yeah, I look at their careers and I think like Emma Byrne, Niamh Fahey, Denise O'Sullivan, Louise Quinn, how much they've devoted their life to Irish football, and I'm so proud to be part of that now. Being as consistent as possible over the 10 years and showing up and leading by example in as much as I could and still can. So it's yeah, it was very, very proud day for me. I was just wanting to win the game. Like it was, I didn't want anything about the 100th cap of I literally just wanted to win the game. So, and I said that to the team the night before we played Belgium, because they put together a little video and a little piece for me. So I'm happy we were able to get the job done, and then we could kind of go and enjoy the evening together and really kind of appreciate the moment. So now look, it's yeah, it's an incredible milestone. I'm very, very proud of it. There's still a few years left of me, so I'll keep pushing. And, yeah, I want to achieve really, really amazing things with the team because we've got a good group of players and players that really care about playing for the country, which I think is few and far between in this day and age, I think. So yeah, I'm very proud to lead those girls out.
Yeah, no, we're all proud of you. It's a huge milestone, and yeah, more to come as well.
I
Still
know.
do, still young.
Keep going.
We have one more question because you're on tight schedule, probably, aren't you? Otherwise, to captain Ireland to the first World Cup and then score their first ever World Cup goal.
It was a journey. I would say it was a lot of graft, heartache because we missed out on the Euros 2 years prior to that, which was devastating, and it knocked the team's confidence for quite a while. So I was very proud of how we kind of picked ourselves back up and learned from that, and learned from the missing out on the Euros and that feeling, and making sure it wouldn't happen again going into the next qualification, which was the World Cup. So yeah, it was, and again, it was a one-off game. It was over in Glasgow against Scotland. So to get over the line and to win 1-0 over there was absolutely incredible. I remember texting you about it after, being like, "We're going to the World
mad."
Cup."
Yeah,
It was crazy, and then to eventually get there and lead the team out in Sydney playing Australia. Our fans were incredible. There was so many Irish out in Australia at that time. So it felt like a home game a little bit because it was just like a sea of green in the stadium. So no, it was an incredible honour and something I'll obviously look back on, I think, after my career to let it fully digest, because we're in the football world, everything ticks along quite quick, so it's hard to kind of appreciate those moments, but that's definitely up there as one of the best moments in an Ireland jersey. And then to score the goal against Canada was yeah, it was
banging them in for fun. Hat-trick the other week.
I
literally.
know. I'm different when I'm in a green jersey. I just go.
Yeah. Yeah, kick it, run, shoot. No,
I know.
yeah, it was
So
yeah,
good. It was incredible, and I was just so happy to be able to kind of give the Irish fans a moment to celebrate with the team. And obviously we didn't win the game, but to have all our Irish supporters yeah, cheering us on was incredible.
I think things like that as well, they're like moments like what you said. You do look back on them and you're like, God, like we did that. And in the moment, you obviously, you're still competitive and everything like that. But it's such big achievements to do. And even the snowball effect, like I watched your game against Belgium the other night, and like the fan base like was incredible, and it's so good to see that. So yeah,
No, 100%. Like you said, it's, as footballers, we charge on to the next thing, and we're always chasing the next result or the next trophy we can win. But instead of obviously kind of being in the present and really appreciating those big moments, but I guess we can dissect it fully when we both retire.
yeah, with a pint.
Yeah.
So the special guest we now know, because we'll have listened back and everyone else will just listen, was Katie McCabe. Do you know the most surprising thing about Katie McCabe? And this is why you should never, ever go on preconceived ideas. She hasn't got a yellow card yet this season.
A new woman.
See? But
That
she's-
is actually a shocking stat.
Yeah.
Don't tell her that. She'll go around whacking everyone.
Hopefully she doesn't get sent off now this weekend in the Arsenal-Chelsea game. What a huge
Oh,
game.
guaranteed yellow card in that
no.
game. Guaranteed yellow card. Oh, my days.
It's a huge game this weekend. For all the writing Arsenal off, if they beat Chelsea at the Emirates, then everything's open again, right?
Oh, who's writing Arsenal off? I mean,
Some people who know nothing.
that is crazy.
who know
Yeah,
nothing,
that's crazy.
right? But if they do,
If you're doing that, it's crazy.
it's wide open.
The league's so wide
Yeah.
open right now. You can't say that anyone's ran away with it. And I think they're them big games that can also change a bit of like mentality with the team as well. I think Chelsea's still unbeaten, aren't they? So it's either like big boost for Chelsea, we go again, or I think Arsenal have the quality to come out, and they're at the Emirates as well. I do feel like the Emirates is a 13th player, or however they say it. That'll be a huge boost for them, but be a good game.
You played Chelsea last weekend. How did Arsenal beat them?
Oh, Coach Keets is going to tell Arsenal, Renee Slagers, how to
Wait,
coach.
when
and
they're doing the
how
robot
to-
on the corner.
Yeah, how to manage thinking. But actually, surprisingly, in our game, Chelsea played quite a high line at times, especially when they managed to get into our final third. Their black line really stepped up, and they actually played a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, however you looked at it. And I feel like definitely in behind with the pace of someone like Stina Blackstenius can be a real problem for Chelsea for sure. Whether they play the same system, is yet to be seen. But it will be a great game, and it's two really good teams, and teams that have a lot of depth and quality both in the starting 11 and on the bench. So it'll be I'm excited to watch that game, and I think for Arsenal they'll want to definitely get the 3 points to start closing the gap on Chelsea, who have started the season strong, really strong. And we've talked about Arsenal not dropping points in certain games and not really being in form, but a game like Chelsea at the Emirates can really kick you on in your season. And they're coming off a really good win v Leicester, scored goals. That also helps team spirit, confidence. But Arsenal playing at the Emirates is a totally different game to Arsenal anywhere else. I think the Emirates is such a great stadium for them to play at, and their fans are unbelievable, and I'm sure they'll be out in the numbers, which is also something that Chelsea will have to contend with.
Jord, what advice did you give her? Apart from don't get a yellow card.
Not too much. I think they both have their philosophies, don't they? Whether, like Keats said, they play with a 3 or a 4 back. You're gonna try and still just focus on yourselves. I think that was always one thing that with Arsenal, especially, you're still focused on your philosophy and the way you want to play, and hopefully them outcomes come out. It'll be interesting to see if Arsenal get a few players back, because obviously, they had to change their team the other week. Do they stay with that and have that bit of rhythm from after the international break, or they put some players back in and see how they go. So yeah, it'll be a really good game though. I think they're two top teams, aren't they, going against each other?
Talking of really good games, Newcastle Durham Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah,
Feisty, tasty.
I've heard they're feisty. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it is on 3G, so that'll be
yeah, that's a game changer. And honestly, Durham at home is not easy. We played them in the Conti Cup, and oh my days, the 3G is it's an equal playing field when you play on that 3G.
Yeah,
I tell ya.
yeah.
Why? Because it's just totally different to grass, and obviously in the obvious sense, but the way the ball moves, the speed, the rhythm of the game, especially if you're a possession-based team, it's very hard to gain rhythm if you don't play on 3G consistently. Like, the ball bounces so different, and it is a game changer playing on 3G, and they are a very physical team, Durham. So, that's a feisty affair.
I know.
Woo!
Durham do really well at home. That it's not an easy game. I think whenever you speak to anyone in our league or when it's been cup games, like you said, Keats, they say that Durham away is tough. So yeah, it's quite like a smaller pitch, and yeah, I think it's naturally when you play on a pitch week in, week out, you get used to it. So it is an adaptation, I think, straight away, the bounce of the ball and stuff like that. But no, I'm looking forward to it. It's an away game, but it's 20 minutes from me, so that's nice. It's not far.
Nice.
Home in time for tea. And do you is the worst bit about playing on an artificial pitch that you've got those rubber crumbs you're finding everywhere for weeks after?
That does happen, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Also, do you get burns on 3G, 4G?
Oh, yeah, don't be sliding on there.
No.
Do not be sliding on there.
Can you wear really long leggings, cycling shorts?
Do you want me to give you a good tip though? Smother your legs in Vaseline.
I'm considering what boots do I wear because they're gonna be stained, aren't they?
You'll get the skiddy stain on your boots. The skiddy stain. What's the official
Oh
term?
yeah. You won't be able to get it off. There'll be black stains on
Yeah,
them for
yeah,
the rest of
whole
the
boot will be
season
black.
now. Your whole boot will be black.
No.
And I have pink boots. Yeah, they'll be stained.
Yeah.
If you see Durham's footballs, they're white Nike balls. They are completely black. The whole ball.
Yeah.
Like it stains it so bad.
I wonder what that is actually. When you think of
I've spoken about this before. Do you remember was it Canada at the World Cup where it was melting, wasn't it, to the boots or the balls, because it got so hot out there?
hot 3G is possibly the worst to play on. Like, it feels like your feet are on a fire. Honestly, it's just it's crazy how hot your boots can get on 3G.
Blisters you were on about, Caroline.
Yeah.
That is blistered territory. Hot 3G.
No. Yeah.
When you score your hat trick, showing no bias.
Too hot.
Let's just say it's a 3-3. Yeah, and then do a knee slide.
Please take your boot off and start blowing it.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
Please save me up.
Hot
Hot
You want me
heels.
to take
Hot
my whole
heels.
boot off?
That's
Is
your
there not-
Instagram post. Hot heels.
Can you not give me one where I've not got to take my boot off? That's a right faff. I get all my little black bits in my boot.
Anyway, you two have a lovely weekend. Some other good news to report, and I'm going to say it's just down to the power of you two. WSL2 players are now eligible for professional. They're eligible to talk. Professional Football Association membership. So they're now part of the PFA, which is brilliant news, right? Is this something you talked about at the club, Jordan, as well, when that news came out?
Yeah. To be fair, a few of the girls didn't know much about it, which shows how good it is now that they can now. We have a meeting in a few weeks to obviously discuss what that means, and some of the players didn't really know. So I think that shows how much of an impact that'll make, knowing the support they could get from the PFA and the help. So no, it's amazing for the WSL2 to get that. I think it's where we want to see the game grow, and positive moves forward.